Just when you thought alliances in weak hold get more dangerous. Roman Reigns speaks out. Paul Heyman is called out as a traitor. And Seth Rollins is left scrambling after the Vision's betrayal on Raw. Already told you he was a snake. Reigns said, "What's next?" Tonight on WWE Rundown, we dive into every jab, reaction, motive, and fallout of one of the most dramatic shakes WWE has dropped in 2025. Stay locked and let's dig in. WWE Rundown, your go-to for deep wrestling, storytelling, backstage heat, and turn-by-turn breakdowns. Let's ride. The crowd is still reeling from Raw and Perth. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed turn on Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman aligned with them, and the Vision imploded on live television. Rollins, bewildered and vulnerable in the ring, stood surrounded by former allies, now turned adversaries. Heyman raised Breaker and Reed's hands as the new power triangle, leaving Rollins isolated. Within hours, the WWE universe was ablaze with reaction. Twitter and flooded with memes, outrage, disbelief, clips of the spear, the tsunami, Heyman's raised arms, all circulated non-stop. But one reaction cut through the noise more sharply than others: Roman Reigns' posts and comments. Hadn't stay silent. In the wake of the betrayal, Reigns took to social media and made his stance crystal clear. Heyman had always been a snake. And now the proof was in the betrayal. To understand the weight of that reaction, we have to go back. Paul Heyman was once the counsel, the wise man for Reigns. Their on-screen relationship and real-world history made Mon's turn to Seth Rollins a bitter wedge. Reigns' commentary didn't just come off as sheetless or wounded. It came as vindicated. "I already told you he was a snake," he wrote in a post or message. That line cuts with a sting off in sight. He had in storyline and in promo warned that Heyman's loyalties were contingent. On talk shows and podcasts, insiders extracted that Reigns saw this coming. There have been backstage whispers, Mon's teases, ambiguous remarks, moments of discomfort that Reigns allegedly noticed and publicly referenced. So when a betrayal went down, Reigns framed it not as surprise, but as proof of what he always knew. That posture has narrative power. The dethroned figure, the betrayed ally, the one who was warning all along. To grasp the emotional impact, we need context. Heyman abandoned Reigns at WrestleMania 41, siding with Rollins and leaving the tribal chief betrayed. That moment was a major pivot in WWE storytelling that season. Heyman walking away from Reigns, aligning with Rollins created a power shift and gave legitimacy to Rollins' ace-atop figure. Rollins and Heyman crafted the Vision, a faction built on shared ambition, symbolism, and a promise of new leadership in WWE. But seeds of instability were always sown. Heyman's tendency to invest in winners, his history of realigning, and his value as the ultimate manipulator meant doubts lingered. Reigns' reaction now is in part revenge of history. He's not only reacting to the new betrayal, he is reclaiming the narrative of past betrayals and alleged misp. Let's walk through Raw beats. Rollins opened the show, rawing in his crown jewel win, asserting dominance, claiming he didn't net anyone, including his own Vision members. He tried to control the narrative, painting the Vision as his chosen wingmen. But tension simmered. Subtle glances, hesitations, unsynchronized reactions. In the main event, CM Punk won a triple threat torn a shot at Rollins' title. Post-match, the Vision descended on the ring to confront Punk, but it was a trap. Breaker forced a choice, speared Rollins, Reed attacked, and Heyman raised their hands. That sequence, betrayal in the ring, the visual of Heyman's shift is the lightning bolt moment. It didn't just fracture a group, it rewrote the power structure on Raw. Reigns can't stay silent. His next promo must hit these beats. Reminder, who warned everyone. Moral high ground. Hadn't betray anyone. He was betrayed. Promise of reckoning. Heyman and his new alliance won't go unchallenged. Call Tollies. Yos, those wronged by Heyman, other disillusioned stars. The Mike moment. You left me for illusions. Now, I watch you leave them for monsters. That kind of poetic sting gives Reigns a posture of wounded pride and looming vengeance. We've theorized this. But now with Reigns' reaction in the mix, let's re-examine motives, raw pragmatism. Heyman always bets on the most dominant asset. With Rollins now bloodied and vulnerable, maybe he sees greater value in Breakker plus Reed.